Before we get into this episode, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. You can hit the notification button so you can get updated weekly on all of our latest content. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, tell us what you want to see next below. Michael, sit back, grab some popcorn, enjoy the show, because today we are talking about vaginas, exosomes, the placenta. You get to just
all my
chill.
favorite topics. Exactly. And mine.
Let's hop right into it. You've been on the show before. People loved it. You're known as the Vagina Whisperer. I just want to give anyone who's listening that's new a little bit of context. You were telling us off air. Just give us a little bit of your background before we dive right into this subject.
You know, medicine is my passion. I grew up in a family of not physicians. My father was the only doctor, but he was a very well-known surgeon. He still is. And I grew up following him in the OR and in the hospital since I was 4 years old. We lived inside the hospital, and this was during Iran-Iraq war. So I saw casualties of the war every single day at the age of 4. And I used to help Dad, basically following him, you know, triage these patients, cover the dead people. My first job was basically carrying white sheets to cover people who die. So I became very comfortable with blood super early on. And then slowly he taught me how to inject, how to do different things. By age of 7, 8, I was in the OR helping him. By age of 11, I was stitching on my own. By age of 13, 14, I would do half of the surgery and he would do the other half. And actually his patients, some of them started trusting me more, you know, because they're like, oh, he's so cool. And, you know, I wanted to look older. So I kept shaving my face until a little bit of hair started coming out, and would wear like a tie and suit to look more basically older than 13, 14. Age of 15, I went to med school, started med school, finished when I was 21. I was younger than all my classmates by 3 years at least, and was doing already orthopedic surgery, different surgeries. But being in Iran, I really got into vaginas as doing hymenoplasties. So I started making people into certified virgins. And that was, you know, to prevent any kind of prosecution or getting in trouble. And, you know, to me back then, my justification is that, you see, all my friends, all the boys want to have sex and want to do whatever they want to do. And when they want to get married, they got to get married to somebody who hasn't seen the light of the day. So I'm like,
is this still happening now, or
no?
Okay, this is
changed a lot.
Long time ago.
It's a long time ago. So right now everybody is way more open-minded. You know, back then you wouldn't have sex even if you had a girlfriend. You know, unless you were marrying her, you wouldn't have sex. You know, you would do different things. You know, everybody had like either anal sex or different things, but they wanted to keep that virginity. And of course, for people who ended up doing something with their boyfriend and now they are not together, they broke up and they got to get married to somebody else, they don't want to get killed on the night of wedding, or they don't want to, you know, something crazy to happen or their relationship to go down. So they would tell me, you know what, I made a mistake and what can I do? And there were a lot of people who were fixing that mistake, but I was doing it at the age of 15. So that's,
wow.
Yeah.
How did you parlay that into what you're doing now? Like, you started by repairing people's virginity. Is that what you would call it? Or their hymen?
Hymenoplasty.
Okay. Then what comes next after that to get you to where you are now with the vagina?
So I started learning a lot more about vaginas. Then I left Iran and I went to England. I was doing sports medicine, orthopedic. So I was continuing in that field. So no vaginas for a couple of years. And when I came to US from England, what I started doing research at Stanford on endometriosis. So we did a lot of endometriosis, you know, basically education and learning from the best. I actually learned from Dr. Najat, who is basically the first person who did laparoscopy. You know, he invented laparoscopy. So laparoscopy is when you go with a camera inside the belly.
Oh, right.
Through the belly button, and you look inside. You can do appendectomy, take out the appendix. You can do any surgeries. Because back in the days, you know, they had to open you up. Now you can do everything through a camera. So that was my first like learning about endometriosis and learning about more about the internal female anatomy, because before was just working on the vaginas and doing hymenoplasties. And then I went to New York and I started my training in OBGYN, and I always loved, learning more and more about pelvic floor reconstruction, all of those. So when I finished, I started really heavily getting involved in that. I helped a lot of survivors of female genital mutilation, which we talked about it in the last podcast.
People should go back and listen to that episode because you got some crazy stories.
How did you decide to implement exosomes into your practice?
So let's talk about exosomes a little bit. What are exosomes? You know about PRP, Lauren, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay. And what does PRP do?
To me, this is my perception. It restores hair growth if you use it on your hair. I think it's the best for hair growth, and it's really amazing for the skin, right?
Absolutely. It's amazing for everything. You can inject it in joints everywhere. So what PRP does, of course, it has all the growth factors, but it starts a process of inflammation, right? In your body. The inflammation that you want. Remember inflammation like redness and everything? Sometimes you want it, like when you do microneedling. Why do you do that? You want to bring more blood there. Why do we want to do that? We want to bring the stem cells, to the area of injury. So when you create the inflammation with your PRP, what happens? All of those stem cells come to that area. And what do? Start repairing, start fixing everything. And that's why, sometimes when you want to heal something, you need to first cut it. You need to create like the laser damage that you do on the face and creates face tightening. Or when you do the microneedling. So those stem cells are amazing. I have stem cells. Michael has stem cells. My mother at age of 72 has stem cells. But there is a big difference. And we're going to get to exosomes because that's the baby of a stem cell. So, the thing is that everybody has stem cells, but my stem cells are not as good and as potent as they were when I was 10 years old. And when I was 10, they were not as potent as when I was 2 years old. What happens to a 2-year-old? You have them run here, you fall 50 times, they don't care because the repair in their body is so fast. Even if they get a cut, tomorrow is going to be gone. That's the thing. When they become 10, it's different. If you twist your ankle at age of 2, sometimes you just cry and that's it. You don't know a 2-year-old twisted their ankle.
If I twist my ankle now, I'm done for 2 months.
Exactly. And imagine if that happens when you are 7 years old.
They're finished.
Exactly. So that's the thing, because we have good stem cells, very potent stem cells, and slowly they deplete. What does a stem cell make? Electron microscope has been around for many years, right? Electron microscope is not the normal microscope, it's the one that really makes everything super, super huge to make it easy for the listeners. And so the nanoparticles, you can't see them with regular microscope. You can only see them with electron microscope. So when they looked at it like 50 years ago, there were these tiny vesicles, tiny like little bags that are coming out of the cells. Imagine if this is the size of the cell, these tiny dots would come out of it. And they used to call them cell poop. They're like, oh, these are the excretion. This is the feces of the cell. It comes out of the cell. Until 20, 30 years ago, slowly they started doing more research on it. This is not just poop. These are these little bags, exosomes, that are nanoparticles, come out of your cells, and they carry a lot of information. They have a lot of proteins, a lot of like messenger RNA. And what do? What they do, they tell the next cell what to do. So when these stem cells get to area of injury, secretes this. You have to repair yourself. You have to fix this. You have to fix that. That is very important. As we get older, we don't have them. So if PRP is here, exosome is 100 times more potent.
You're saying these are the things that communicate and signal to the stem cells that they need to start repairing tissue?
Absolutely.
Or
Where is
injury.
stem cell on that chart?
So now Remember I told you when you do the PRP, when you inject the PRP, you want to bring the stem cells in hopes of those stem cells secreting exosomes.
Okay.
Now, guess what? You did a shortcut. Instead of doing all of that and bringing those stem cells, you're just giving the exosomes. And a very different exosome, Lauren. The difference is that the exosome that you have is, you're 25, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So your exosome is 25 years old because it comes from a 25-year-old stem cell.
Got it.
But the exosome that we are giving you comes from a 0-year-old placenta. So it's brand new, is the strongest.
So just so the audience knows, let's talk about my own personal journey. When my placenta came out, we put it in a cooler. We got it to Dr. Amir. You made placenta pills, but you also, tell me if I'm wrong, took my placenta exosomes out of it?
Yes.
Let me tell you something. I've transported these placentas around.
So have I, in my stomach. So sorry that you had to walk downstairs with my fucking placenta.
It is strange.
Okay, so why did you decide to get the exosomes from my placenta? Explain that.
Very good. So first of all, this is not something we do for everyone.
This is like a new age thing. This is
nobody else did it. By the way, Lauren is patient 0 for this that's actually talking about this. I've done this for a few patients who are, I can tell you 2 of them are like these celebrities who don't want to even talk about it. They want it for their family, to kind of keep it. And there is one politician's wife who did it and they are keeping it. I tell you why they are good. So,
oh great. So we're gonna be the poster children for
you are
this.
the poster.
Okay,
you are
great.
the person who's actually talking
Here
about
comes
it.
that great press.
But you are the person who's actually, and I really appreciate you guys being so open and open-minded about talking about these things.
Well, I think I don't want to speak for Lauren, but my perspective is if what we're going to discuss could be helpful to people, even if it's not for them, I don't see the point in not sharing information with people. Then they can, and listen, caveat and make the disclaimer, everyone has to go and do their own research and what's right for them and all that. But I think this whole platform has been built
I think a lot of people are doing it and not talking about it. So I'm fine to talk about it.
But I think the platform has been built on kind of sharing this kind of information and, people make their own decisions.
The information is really important and people need to know. But I tell you, I have toured either virtually or in person a lot of exosome labs. And I wanted to do this if we do it the right way. Nobody has done what we did the way we did it for you. Even the people that I already did this for with the company I'm working with, they haven't done it the way that you did it.
So how did you do it and what does it do?
I tell you. So we got your placenta. And of course, I'm not going to give all the technical things out here. But what we do, we separated your mesenchymal stem cells. Now, what are the mesenchymal stem cells? These are those stem cells that can turn into any kind of cell whatsoever, right? And not yours. We separated your fetal side,
What do hospitals typically do with the placenta?
They either send it to pathology and after that gets dumped.
Or
I don't know what else they do. I mean, listen, I wasn't down there.
But mostly, but the point is like the placenta is delivered after the baby.
Yeah.
Right.
And then usually it is
I would like to know.
It is discarded in most cases, what you're saying.
There's no use for it. I mean, there are donation programs right now for research and for different things. I don't know what's the different thing they do with it. But that you can tell me. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I focus on, what I'm focusing. But for you, this is what we did. So placenta has 2 sides. For everybody to kind of know what placenta does, it is basically getting all the nutrients from mom, and it kind of switches. It's kind of like a relay system between mom and the baby, and that's why it goes through the umbilical cord. So before the baby is born, baby does not need to breathe. They breathe, but they breathe amniotic fluid inside their lungs. So there's no air has not gone in there. So how does the baby get oxygen? The mom, and then it kind of is their lung, is the placenta. So the placenta does all of this. So placenta has 2 sides. The reason I'm telling you is the maternal side. This is the side that's more towards mom, and the fetal side, right? And these 2 cells kind of talk to each other. So we separate the fetal side, because there are a lot of places, we make exosome, we just make a smoothie of your placenta. No, you want the best are the fetal side, because you have stem cells too, Lauren. I mean, I can take your blood. There are companies that say, we take your blood, we separate your stem cells. Great. But your kid's stem cell, who was just born, is a lot more potent than your stem cells.
Total sense.
Question, are my cells in this? Because
absolutely.
Yeah, you can use these.
Absolutely.
You can use the
it.
exosomes. That's what I kept telling you.
Because it's all because it's our this is gonna sound strange. It's kind of our placenta.
No,
he thinks it's our pregnancy too.
It's
our placenta.
No,
literally said no one ever.
It was your placenta in your body, but I'm saying
Holy shit, it's our placenta.
Is that
It's
correct?
our pregnancy. It's our birth.
Listen, he gave half of the genes. Come on.
Yeah, come on, Lauren.
He thinks he gave all the genes, if you ask him. Okay, so he can also inject.
All right, but before that, let's just keep going with what. Okay, so I was just wondering if it's like not just her.
No, I tell you the uses of it. First of all, the reality is that with exosomes, anybody can use it. So when we do exosomes, there's no genetic material, there's no DNA in it, and these are so tiny. The body does not make any antibodies against them. They don't have anything to tell your body make antibodies, because they are super, super tiny. That's why you can use even mine. I can use somebody who just gave birth in India. So that's fine.
So when most people, if they go and get exosome therapy, or they get exosomes in their skin or their face, they're using materials likely from other.
Of course, not likely, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
So when people are sitting there scratching their head saying, I don't know if I would, but if you've done exosome therapy, it's been from another mammal.
It's either from another mammal, or it can be from plants. There are plants.
Okay.
They do exosome. They do from fish.
Salmon semen, right?
Salmon semen. So all of these things exist out there.
Okay.
But what is really, and that's the thing. Some people say, I don't feel comfortable getting either, exosome from a plant. I want the real one from placenta, but I don't want somebody else's exosome. And they always say, I wish we could have done it for ourselves. And that's where we came up with this. So we call it your exo.
Got it.
And your MSC. And the exosome is not the most important part of it. I'm going to tell you something that what you did, and thank you for doing it, it's way more important than the exosome. So what we did, we separated the mesenchymal cells, the stem cells from the fetal side. And great, we washed them, all of those things. We made exosomes for you, which we can make it again and again and again. But we're saving some of your fetal mesenchymal stem cells in the freezer forever. Right?
So what does that mean?
Exactly. They can turn into any kind of cells. So down the line, especially with good science, I don't know when that's going to happen. Maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, maybe in 50 years. Let's say your baby or you or somebody in the family, like 2 generations down, 2 generations up. This is like the extreme of it. They need a kidney. And at that point, we have the 3D printer that can use the same genetics. You can get that and you can turn it. You can print a kidney,
Oh my gosh, I'm making 3 babies. I'm making kidneys. I'm saving the future generation. What can I not do?
So is this a similar thought process when people do like cord blood or cord? Is it like they think that, they're going to use this for the future, but what you're saying is like this step further, you actually get.
So look, cord blood is really good, but reality is that you don't have these kind of stem cells in cord blood. Very small number. And for now, it's more like at the research level. You cannot make these kind of exosomes with cord blood, because we test exosomes, what I do, I get a lot of exosomes from different places and I pay so much for it. And so many times I just send it to the lab. I'm like, you know what? I want to see how these exosomes look like. And believe it or not, there are so many times that I think it looks like there are no exosomes. It's just normal saline they sell people. And it's unfortunate. And you don't know where it's coming from. So if there is anybody who's listening, if you ever want to get exosome or use it, or you think you want to do it, just ask them, can I tour your lab? Can I have a virtual tour? Does that lab really exist? I know of companies that get stuff from Korea without even testing. They bottling it here and they're like, white labeling exosomes. Our lab is here in the US And we want to make sure. So anyways, so you have your mesenchymal stem cells, but before we get to 3D printing and all of those, which we are not there, and I'm like, maybe it happens, you have other uses for it. God forbid, you have a ligament injury. You have, like, let's say your meniscus tear. You have a really bad burn. You have diseases that you need to, let's say a myocardial infarction, God forbid, that you have like a heart attack, that you want to kind of, a part of your heart, you want it to start replacing itself. We cannot do it in many jurisdictions yet, but you can inject these mesenchymal stem cells directly into that area, and something that would heal maybe in like 2 months, or maybe never heal the way it was, it can heal in 2 to 3 days.
So let's explain to the audience what I'm doing. So tomorrow I'm going for, what did you call it over text? I was crying. What is it called?
So tomorrow, that's completely different but tomorrow we are doing a full reverse aging protocol on you. That's number one.
Okay.
Which we are your own exosomes. And by the way, even my royal family, like really high up people who the money is not, doesn't matter. The amount of exosomes that you are getting tomorrow, they never get it in one setting.
Why?
In one sitting. Because it's going to become, first of all, it's just too much. It's too expensive, when you want to do it. So they get like 100 billion in the face, let's say 100 billion in their vagina, 100 billion in their penis, and 100 million IV, and sometimes 200 billion IV, 100 billion in the face. So max they would get 500 billion in one setting. You are getting tomorrow, everything that I have for you is around 1 trillion.
Why is it mine so much?
Because we have it. Because guess what? You are the factory. You made your own exosomes. You don't need, if the amount
I don't have to buy, we already have my own.
The amount that you are getting with the injection and everything would cost over close to $200,000.
Whoa!
For somebody to just get this.
If you bought these on the open market, but because she made it herself.
You made it yourself. You have your own, and you will have it many, many, many more times. And God forbid your mom needs it, or your kids need it, or their children need it, or Michael needs it. Let's say Michael plays football tomorrow and say, oh, you know what? He tore his Achilles, or he tore a meniscus. You know what? I like to inject that in there.
I'm obsessed with this because he complains. I can be like, complaint here, complaint here. So tomorrow, but you called it something really funny. You called it like lunchtime. What did you call it?
Oh, we're gonna do that too. That's the fun part for him.
What's it called again?
So it's called Vaginal, Angelo, which is basically, they call me Michelangelo of the vagina. That's the procedure. Yeah. So
listen, guys, I've had 3 kids. I talked to Dr. Amir. I was like, I need a little couple stitches in there. So I'm going down for some stitches and some exosomes. And are you doing PRP, or is that the exosome?
You don't need to do PRP.
Right. Okay, so you don't even need to do that.
This is what you are getting
on my vagina. Let's be clear.
Is as if you got PRP for your whole life times 100.
But so could you, so like if you had a back injury, or you wanted to, do exosomes in the face, or you could do this with this material.
100%.
Or if I, to your point, like hurt something, or she hurt something, or you have this would help you heal it by using these materials.
Absolutely.
What does exosomes do to the penis, and what do they do to the vagina?
Perfect. So we're not injecting it it's not just injected in the vagina. We want to inject it in the G zone.
Okay.
So your entire clitoral area, which you asked me about Vaginal Angelo procedure you're getting tomorrow, or we also call it lunch break vaginal lift, LBVL, right? So
loves it.
So basically, I'm going to tell you about that procedure that you're getting tomorrow, but at the same time, we inject too. So what do? They basically, exosomes are all about reverse aging.
Okay.
At cellular level. So they go inside your cell and they find out like the crappy cells that they need to go, just like your skin, when the layer needs to come off, they tell them, well, you know what? You need to die, basically. The cells that they need to grow, you need to become younger. The places that they need to repair, you need to be repaired. It's kind of like sending these tiny, tiny little EMTs all around your body, especially the part that you get IV. It even goes to the brain. I have patients, a patient of mine, they told me a couple of times back to back, they were doing it IV, and again, I'm telling everybody because they are going to start sending me letters and everything. You can't do this in just every jurisdiction. It's not something that, I'm going to do IV here. It has to be done, in places that is legal. But for Lauren is different because of course it's your own exosome. So you can do it anywhere you want to do is from your own body. But this patient got it twice back to back and said, I had brain fog. I don't feel that anymore. I feel so much sharper. I feel like I'm not tired. I feel like I want to be up, late and I don't have any problem. I told her, although you feel like this, you have to go to sleep because that's one part of, if you talk about reverse aging, the first step in reverse aging, I tell people, is sleep. Because once you get the exosomes and then you get to sleep, they have the time to really repair.
So you put it in the G spot in the vagina, and where do you put it in the penis, and what does it do to the penis?
G zone and penis, we're going to do it just all around penis. I do 5 to 6 injections in the penis.
In the actual penis?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. Trust me. I do it a way it's not going to hurt.
Do you want to come do it tomorrow?
I'm gonna finish this podcast and I will get some more information.
Okay. So is it like you just
No, but
do like a little
we have
numbing?
enough to do it for you, even if you want to get.
What does it do though?
Is it
does it make the penis harder? Does it make it bigger? What does it do?
So look, that's the thing. And that's what everybody needs to understand. It is going to really work on the cells to bring them back in time. So the penis, let's say if you are 40 years old, is going to start when you do this regularly, start feeling like you are 30. For example, I tell you example of my father because I brought him here and he's like, you really want to inject me? I'm like, yes. So he thought I'm doing IV, which he loved because he got a couple of times. And he said, you know what? My memory is getting much better and everything. I'm like, this time we're going to do it on your penis. And we actually recorded it. He's 78 years old.
What a bonding moment.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I didn't show his penis. So I told my videographer, make sure you don't see his penis, but I think she saw. But anyways, she didn't get it on the video. So I injected his penis and he called me 2 weeks after. He's like, what did you do to me? I'm like, what happened? I thought his penis fell off or something. He's like, I haven't gotten morning erections for the past 20 years. And now I'm waking up with a boner at least 2-3 times a week.
Nice.
Well, good for you. So he can't wait to get his next injection. But this is basically, it can repair your nerves. It can repair. It's not something that says, oh, you know what? I'm going to get in. My penis is going to get like 2 sizes bigger or my erections.
No, it's like it sounds like if you have a back injury and you're 50 years old, now it's like you have the back of it basically brings time back.
Exactly.
At least for the cells. It doesn't change time.
For the cells. And you have to do it regularly, Michael. So, and that's why what you did is worth it.
Okay.
Why? Because you have access to exosomes on an ongoing basis. The amount of exosome that you're getting tomorrow, I have another like 4 batches of it in the freezer ready for you. So you can at least get it 4 more times this year.
So are there risks or downsides, or like where do people have to be cautious about these kinds of things? And I'm assuming it's obviously like the person and the credentials and, doing it in a place where it's legal or where you're, I don't know, allowed to do these things. But what are the risks?
Look, first of all, it is not FDA approved. So I want everybody to know about this. We said it on the camera. It's not FDA approved. I want to tell you what I think why it's not FDA approved. Because to me, and I mean, I don't know if things are changing or not, but FDA is mostly funded by the biggest pharmaceuticals, and I have patients. I had a very sick patient in Middle East. This person, very big in size, diabetes, high blood pressure, been getting regular exosomes, 300 billion every single month. He was taking insulin all the time. He's not on that. His blood pressure medicine is half. Now, you got to realize we are not really, especially in the US, we are not really into prevention. We don't want your body to repair itself. If you have a cold, I'm not going to tell you, take ginger shot. I mean, I do. Take ginger shot, lemon, lots of vitamin C, lots of zinc. What would we prefer to do? We prefer to give you the medicine that's made for cold, and it probably costed $2, and it costs $2 for the pharmaceutical company, and your insurance is being charged $550 for it. So that's my thought.
Yep.
It is not FDA approved. Okay. However, do your research. If you are getting exosome, make sure it's from a safe source, because there are lots of exosomes we are testing and they are absolutely BS.
What are the downsides of exosomes? Is there any other downsides besides the FDA thing?
Well, I mean, the downside is that with any kind of injection, look, there is not enough research. And that's what FDA hangs their hat on. There's not enough research to show the long-term safety. So is there a possibility that, if somebody has cancer, make cancer worse? That's what they say. Oh, you know what? It can cause that. Now, nobody has proved it. Nobody has shown it. But this is the way I think about it. And most people who know about exosomes. And there are anecdotes that show for people who actually had an early cancer, your body cleared it when you got exosomes. This is what happens, all of us. Many times in our life, we had a very, very early cancer. You know what? What's cancer? A cell that starts growing, out of control. And guess what? Who took care of it? Our stem cells took care of it. The exosomes from stem cells came and got rid of that. And that's why, to me, is actually the reverse. It's what is going to be one of the cures for cancer in the future. Now, it's not proven. I'm not making any claims. I'm not telling you if you have cancer, go get exosome.
Allegedly.
Yeah, every patient is different, but definitely look into alternative treatments as well. That is very important.
One of the greatest joys that Lauren and I have got to experience doing this show for all these years is the assortment of great products and recommendations that we've gotten over the years from incredible founders. One of those founders is the founder of Amir Marashi, one of our favorite finds in the last few years. What if I were to tell you that there was a supplement that could strengthen your immune system, fortify your gut health, ignite your metabolism, vitalize hair growth, and enhance skin radiance? Well, there is, and it's called Amir Marashi. Colostrum is nature's first whole food with over 400 bioactive nutrients that work at the cellular level to reactivate your body's innate capacity to regenerate and thrive. So if you're ready to reclaim your health, Amir Colostrum is for you. We live in an environment our biology was never designed for. EMFs, artificial light, seed oils, microplastics, endocrine disruptors, chronic stress, many of the things that we discuss on this very podcast. These modern assaults disrupt cellular signaling, negatively impacting gut health and accelerating aging. Nobody wants to accelerate aging. We all want to live the longest, healthiest lives possible. The way that I love to take Amir Colostrum is every single morning I take it in a scoop of water, or I actually take it right out of the jug in a simple scoop directly into my mouth. It tastes like a little bit of a milk dud. Our kids love it. Our dogs love it. The whole family enjoys it, and it's safe for everyone to enjoy. So if you're looking to enjoy the benefits of revitalized hair, better skin, better nails, better gut health, and a stronger immune system, especially during school season, Amir Colostrum is definitely worth a try. Of course, we've worked out a special offer for our audience. Receive 30% off your first subscription order. All you have to do is go to armra.com/skinny or enter skinny to get 30% off your first subscription order. That's armra.com/skinny. Again, armra.com/skinny for 30% off your first subscription order. We spend a lot of time on this podcast and this show talking about supplements and nutrition and things that we can do for ourselves, our adult selves. But what about the ones we love most, our children? This is why I love talking about Hiya Health. Typical children's vitamins are basically candy in disguise, filled with 2 teaspoons of sugar, unhealthy chemicals, and other gummy additives growing kids should never eat. That's why Hiya created a superpowered chewable vitamin. While many children's vitamins are filled with 5 grams of sugar, which is known to contribute to a variety of health issues, Hiya is made with 0 sugar and 0 gummy additives. Yet it tastes great and is perfect for picky eaters. And Hiya also fills the most common gaps in modern children's diets to provide full body nourishment our kids need with a yummy taste they love and enjoy. Hiya is pressed with a blend of 12 organic fruits and veggies, then supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, B12, C, zinc, folate, and many others to help support the immune system. And if you're also tired of battling your kids to eat their greens, Hiya now has a Kids Daily Greens Plus Superfoods, a chocolate-flavored greens powder designed specifically for kids, packed with 55-plus whole food ingredients to support brain power development and digestion. Just scoop, shake, and sip with milk or any non-dairy beverage for a delicious and nutritious boost your kids will actually enjoy. And now the same multivitamin that more than 1 million kids and parents love are now available with Disney's The Lion King, with a new Lion King unboxing experience, including Lion King bottle and Lion King stickers. mothers. And we've worked out a special deal with Haya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you must go to hayahealth.com/skinny. This deal is not available on their regular website. Go to HIYAHEALTH.com/skinny and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults. Quick break to talk about Fatty 15. I'm so excited to share with you guys an incredible scientific breakthrough to support our long-term health and wellness. C15 is the first essential fatty acid to be discovered in 90 years. And get this, studies have confirmed that it's 3 times better, broader, and safer than omega-3s. The origin story is that Fatty 15 co-founder Dr. Stephanie Van Watson discovered C15 as the first essential fatty acid to be found in over 90 years while working with the U.S. Navy to continually improve the health and welfare of aging dolphins. If this story sounds crazy, it's because it is. We've actually had Dr. Stephanie Van Watson on this podcast twice now. I highly suggest you go check out those episodes because the story is incredible and this breakthrough is even more incredible. It's pretty simple. Essential nutrients keep our cells healthy, which keeps us healthy. If you want to get sciencey about it, studies show that C15 works by strengthening our cells, improving our mitochondrial function, and protecting us against damaging free radicals. The result, better long-term metabolic liver and heart health. And it ends up that many of us are deficient in C15, which results in weaker cells and makes us age much faster. Fatty 15 is science-backed, award-winning, vegan-friendly, and pure C15 supplement. Their only ingredients is C15. So check them out. It's been an incredible product that we have found, but we take it every single morning now. Our inflammation is down. We feel great. We look great. We're aging slower. What could be better? Fatty 15 is on a mission to replenish your C15 levels and restore your long-term health. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/skinny and using code skinny at checkout.
There is one thing that I know, and that is I know how to pick a blanket. I am so serious about my blankets that I travel with them. They're so important to me. I can't even tell you. You need a blanket for the bed. You need a blanket when you travel. You need a blanket for family movie night. And I have a blanket brand that will blow your mind. Okay. Lola. We just got them for we have like a huge couch that fits probably 8 people. And we watch movies on this couch every Friday night. We do family movie night and we use Lola's blankets. Lola is the world's #1 blanket. It's crafted with ultra soft, so buttery, luxurious vegan faux fur. And it just instantly elevates the space, but keeps you so warm. I cannot even tell you. It's truly the best blankets. It's also a great gift to give. I think a blanket is the best. It's personal. It's beautiful. The ones that I have are mixed. So I decided to go with something tonal, which is it's kind of like a cream. And then we have a navy, which is gives the room a little bit more depth. And then we have a white one and we mix them up. My kids love them. They are the most comfortable blankets. My dogs will not get off them. I'm telling you. And for a limited time, our listeners are getting a huge 35% off their entire order at lolablankets.com by using code skinny at checkout. Just head to lolablankets.com and use code skinny for 35% off. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola Blankets.
So when you inject exosomes in a G-spot, does it just make it more pleasurable? What does it do? Does it make it tighter? What is the things it does?
Let's talk about G-spot. Sure.
Okay, he has a bag of things that we don't know what he's going to pull out.
Let's talk about the G-zone first. And what are we doing? We have this. Let's put this here because that has a lot of lint on it.
What happens when you go through the airport?
Nobody wants a vagina full of lint.
I have a lint roller.
Let's see if we have one of the lint rollers in the office. Clean that thing up.
Okay, so let's talk about this. This is the vagina, right? So what do you see when you look at the vagina? Michael, where is the clitoris?
Right there, top.
You see, he said right there, top.
Right there.
If you don't know where that is.
So it is. I mean, he knows where the clitoris is. But that's
good.
just the glance of the clitoris. So this is the clitoris, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the only area that people see it sitting outside, right?
Oh, the whole thing is the
clitoris.
clitoris.
Whole thing is the clitoris. So clitoris is really almost the size of a penis, but women pack it inside. And for men is outside.
So they got to go all the way around. It's not just one spot.
This is inside and goes. So if this is the entry of the vagina, right? The clitoris is sitting right on top. like this.
So you got to go around
Carson,
it.
pay attention here.
Yeah,
This is
Carson.
good information for you.
Get some tips.
Okay, so this is the entry of the vagina. This is the entry of the vagina. So you see the clitoris, sure. This glans is very sensitive, but guess where else is sensitive? The front wall of the vagina around this area that's sitting right underneath, because you see the clitoris is hugging the vagina. So this is, let's say, the glans of the penis. This is the shaft of the penis. When you masturbate, of course, you can just play with the glans of the penis. It's going to be fun. But when you use the whole shaft, you get a lot more pleasure. So this is when people say clitoral orgasm versus vaginal orgasm. Really, they are both clitoral orgasms. Different parts of the clitoris.
So guys have been trained that the clitoris is just the tip of
Just the
top.
tip of-
But what you're saying is it's
the whole
actually
thing.
all the way around.
Listen, we took this to Times Square. We asked 100 people because we wanted to. We're like, what is this? One person said it's clitoris.
I thought it was a wishbone.
We got wishbone, we got mouth guard, we got
Mouth guard.
penguin, we got so many different things, So
Penguin.
penguin. And this is the
Michael, you used to call it the man in the little boat.
That's what they teach you.
but so this is the clitoris. So you see the clitoris is sitting right around. So this is kind of the shaft of the penis. So when you have full intercourse, the shaft goes in and all of those, this area is sensitive too. So vaginal orgasm really is from this area, but it's really clitoral orgasm. So this is what happens. You have intercourse, it goes in. This area is the G zone. The front wall of the vagina is the G zone, is the area that's the most sensitive part of the vagina. Michael, how many nerve endings do you think we have in the front wall of the vagina?
Yeah, Michael.
How many nerve endings? Off the
Just
top
give-
of my head.
Give me a number.
Let's say 50,000.
That's not bad, Most people wouldn't say. It's 12,000. So you have
Okay.
12,000
That's too
nerve
high.
endings in the front wall of the vagina. How many nerve endings do we have in the penis?
Since it's 12, I would say 6,000.
He's good. Most men would say, well, it's probably 100,000 then.
I would assume less.
You're smart. You're smart. It's way less. It's 4,000. You were close. So 12,000 versus 4,000 in men. So 3 times more. So if you really unlock the pleasure, and that's what I do, that's my business. If I unlock the pleasure, I have patients who never had orgasm. They come to me and they're like, wow, everything changed. Now I actually get orgasm. I get vaginal orgasms. If you unlock the pleasure for women, reality is that they should have 3 times as much sensation as a man if you can activate all of these nerves.
So the exosomes helps activate it.
We activate those nerves. That's that part.
Why do they get deactivated? Is this an aging thing? Is it a
Aging, not too much stimulation. Michael, what happens with women, especially after you have babies, if you don't get the good sensations inside the vagina, you would do something for your partner. You're like, oh, you know what? I want to be nice. Let's have sex. Let's do this and that as a woman. But then you don't really enjoy it. So mentally, it's not something that you want to do. You do it for someone else. So says, I want to have sex. Oh, my head hurts, honey. Sorry. I'm hungry. Let's first eat. Oh, kids are talking. All of those things. And why does it get desensitized? This is very important. This is what orthopedic helped me. The anatomy of the vagina changes as we age. It's all about the angle. And that's what we do for you. We fix the angle of the vagina.
That's what I'm doing tomorrow.
You are doing a vaginal Angelo at the same time. You're doing a lot of things. You
Okay.
do full.
So it's not like, there's a lot of people hear this stuff and they, it's just an aesthetics thing. It's not an aesthetics thing. You're also repairing the angle so that she can enjoy sex like she did before she had the children.
The
And
children.
excuse me, I enjoy sex. I'm
No,
good
I know,
with
but
sex.
I'm just talking like,
I'm good on that end, but everything can always be better. And I have had 3 kids, and so to me, this is something that should be talked about more because so many celebrities, influencers, politicians' wives, royalty is getting this done behind the scenes. They're not talking about it. If you ripped something on your face, you would get it fixed.
Absolutely.
So what's the big deal?
They
Because
don't like to
people are
talk
weird
about
about
it.
the word vagina.
They don't like to talk about it. You know what this, I did, I'm not going to tell you the exact place and exact, because you can probably pinpoint and know who was the person, but like literally we got airlifted, went on a yacht and did this vaginal Angelo procedure that you're getting tomorrow on 3 wives of the same person. You know, I did it on a yacht this summer for 3.
Wasn't the yacht like moving back and forth a little bit or no?
It was a good yacht. I think
It
they had that.
was a good yacht.
It was
Felt
a
like
very
you were on
good.
the ground.
Listen,
If you're airlifting people to this, the yacht's pretty good. I'm assuming.
the yacht was good.
You don't even feel it when it's
The
moving.
yacht's not moving back and forth. It's not a zigzag
Imagine my
stitch.
hand was going like that. It wasn't a fishing boat. But so, Lauren, let me. Although that would be fun to try that. Like, we can maybe do it on Austin River.
I'm not going to put myself up for that surgery, but
Hey, I got a boat out here.
no, we're not doing that. We're not
do it
doing
on the boat.
That
That's
would be
going to
some
break
good-
the internet. Yeah. So this is the angle of the vagina before we have kids. You have the downward angle. If you look from the side, so the clitoris is up there, the angle is not flat, it's downward. So when the penis goes in, you get the most amount of sensation in the front wall of the vagina. You know, if you notice, if you see a lot of penises, which I do, the penises, most of them are curved a little bit up. So anatomically, the tip goes a little bit up. So you have this tiny curve. And that's to kind of stimulate the front wall of the vagina more, right? Now, as we are aging, we lose a lot of collagen in this back wall. We lose something that we are calling it perineal body. I'm going to show you on the other sample that I have there. But we lose that. So slowly, this angle that was like this becomes flat. Now, back in the days when it wasn't flat, you would have sex and it would stimulate the front wall of the vagina. And guess what? You would have orgasms much better. Now, slowly, this is flat. Now it goes in. You don't have that much friction. You are not stimulating the front wall of the vagina. So you're not enjoying it as much as you were enjoying it. Now, as a seasoned person, and you know what, if you are into sex and if you are into your partner, because 90% for women of orgasm is inside the brain, you know, you kind of work it out, you change your position, you do all of those things to make sure you enjoy. But there's no way you are enjoying it as much as you were enjoying it before. So that's the thing. So we fix the angle, we bring it back to what it was. And you can do it with a full vaginoplasty. But I came up with this procedure because I was in New York and I had patients who would come in and like literally during lunch break and they're like, well, I don't have the time to be out of work. I don't want to do a full vaginoplasty. Is there something else? And back then we only had laser. So we would do laser vaginal rejuvenation, which was great, but laser doesn't tighten, doesn't fix the angle. It just tightens the lining of the vagina.
And also, if you do want to have another kid, to get the full vaginoplasty where you put someone out and it's a whole thing and it's a surgery, then it's like, it feels like if you're going to have another kid, that feels too extravagant. So this is kind of in between. I feel like it gives you optionality.
No, of course, it gives you optionality. And Lauren, don't think that this happens just with vaginal delivery. You know, it's like telling somebody that, oh, you have the smile lines because probably you smile so much. No. As we age, we lose collagen. So I have patients who are 50 years old, never had a baby through their vagina, but still it's flat because guess what? My face was like this. These lines were not there, but slowly this comes down. And as you get older, you have more. So same thing happens. Now, when you have a baby, it happens a little faster and more, but everybody's vagina is going to become flat at some point. It's like in men, the prostate keeps growing over years.
So is it going to be like a whole new world for Michael?
Well, listen, I think it's already a whole new world for Michael. He told me he doesn't have any complaints. So, but I think it's going to be a lot better.
So how long is the recovery? Like when, is this like having a baby? You can't have sex for 6 weeks?
So that's the thing. It's less invasive than a full vaginoplasty. So you can technically start having sex in 4.5 weeks. But because I put a couple of stitches, if you can hold up for 6 weeks, I
It's
tell
better
patients,
because you don't want to.
you're going to heal a lot better. You know?
So you better
work that
you
jaw
better.
out.
Well, you.
Better work that jaw out. Better get going.
Well, I deserve an award, an Academy Award on that. So, but tonight is like kind of like you're not gonna be able to touch me for another 6 weeks. Just so you know.
So tonight is the last night.
All right.
Last supper.
Michael's
Last
last. Can't take it. You're great on a mic, Dr. Amir. You're great on a
Listen,
mic.
this is what my patients tell me. I honestly, look, I'm I'm not fresh off the boat. It used to be my joke back in the days, but I've been in this country for over 20 years. However, I hear funny things from patients, from you, from different people. And I'm like, this is so funny.
Hello, everyone. Big announcement. I am in love once again. Don't worry, Lauren. It's not with another woman. It is with Astral Tequila. This has quickly become my go-to tequila of the summer. It is so versatile. I'm making all of my margaritas with this. I'm doing my tequila sodas with this. And of course, my famous Paloma. This tequila has got such a strong place in my heart. Because here's the thing. It is versatile. It is tasteful. And it doesn't break the bank. I've been gifting this to my friends. I've been gifting it to family. And more importantly, I've been drinking it all summer long and really enjoying my time doing so. So let's talk about Astral. I've been sharing more and more about Astral on this podcast and on my social platforms. They come in 3 different bottles. They have what I have right in front of me here, the Reposado, which happens to be my favorite. They have their Añejo and they have their Blanco. You can't go wrong with any of them, but I like to personally make my margaritas with the Reposado. I like to sip the Añejo, and I like to do my tequila sodas with the Blanco. You can try any or all 3 of them. So check them out. Astral is my go-to tequila for margaritas at home, and it doesn't just taste good, it does good too. Every bottle of Astral Tequila helps build homes for families in need in Jalisco, Mexico. After making the tequila, they upcycle the leftover agave fibers into adobe bricks used to build homes in their community. How cool is that? So when you're sipping a marg, you're also supporting a great cause. Drink margs, do good. What could be better? House Marg Summer is here. Time to stock up. All you have to do is go to www.astraltequila.com to find Astral near you. And don't forget the limes. Please enjoy responsibly. Astral Tequila, 40% alcohol per volume, Diageo, New York, New York.
I was very thoughtful about the prenatal that I took. I wanted to make sure that I had the best of the best supporting me during my prenatal journey. And you guys know that with all 3 pregnancies, I have used the same prenatal with all 3 of my kids, and that is the Essential Prenatal by Ritual. So here's why I like this specific one, and here's why I recommend it all the time. First of all, most prenatal multivitamins aren't even clinically tested. And that is crazy because they're intended to support one of the most critical phases of human development. You're literally supporting yourself and your child. So it's really important to be thoughtful. Ritual does a 24-week clinical trial for their Essential Prenatal Multivitamin. They're very specific about the ingredients that they use. Everything supported all the things that I wanted it to support. It's also designed with morning sickness in mind. So if you get like queasy in the morning when you're pregnant, it's just easier to swallow. It's gentler on the stomach, and you just have a positive experience. You can also get like a citrus flavor. I love the minty essence. It's a beautiful bottle. It sits right on my vanity. So after I scrape my tongue, I would just take it, made it super easy and seamless. I didn't have to worry about feeling queasy in the morning. Don't settle for less than evidence-based support. Get 25% off your first month at ritual.com/skinny. Start Ritual or add Essential Prenatal to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/skinny for 25% off. I love a home edit. I'm constantly editing my home and just looking for places that I can make it feel more cozy and more elevated. And one place that you can go to get all of these points covered is Wayfair. So if you're looking for bedding, bath basics, kids' rooms, home decor, storage for every space, kitchen essentials, and even a living room refresh, Wayfair really has you covered. They have, I was on their site, the biggest selection of outdoor items. I just bought this really amazing plant. It's a fake plant. It looks real though, and it's so charming. It's like this big sort of like round tree. It feels very cottage vibes. And it's in a huge white vase, and it's out where I do my meditation, and it looks like a real plant. Like, I can't believe it. So if you're looking for something that looks really real and you want to put it outdoors like I did, they have some good ones. And I will tell you, it has rained. We have had some weather here in Texas. It's been hot. Like so hot and sweaty, and this plant is still looking good. I've gotten some really good pieces for organization on their site too. If you want really good shelving, they really have everything. So you can go on there and you can find something that really suits your decor style in a time crunch. There's free and easy delivery, even on the big stuff, which is amazing. And they help you tackle your home goals. Get organized, refreshed, and back to your routine for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. How is my skin? You know what? This sunscreen, it's caffeinated, it's mineral, and it does not pile under makeup. I applied it today with a damp beauty blender before I got my glam done, and it lays so nicely under like a foundation or a concealer. But here's the thing that I like the most about it. So when I'm off work and when I don't have to do podcasts or Instagrams or content, or I can just be comfortable, I can wear this caffeinated sunscreen and I still get a really nice tint and a protection. And it looks like my skin is all one even tone, which is nice without all the makeup. It's not like a foundation. It's like the caffeine tightens your skin. It gives you a nice even tone and it just gives you a little bit of color. So what I like about this sunscreen is the versatility. So you can wear it when you're off and you're running around and you're running errands and wear it with nothing over it. Or you can wear it like I'm wearing today right now with foundation and concealer over it. So it works both ways. I will wear this when I'm going to the gym in the morning and just wear it throughout the day with nothing else, or I will wear it with a full look. I created this sunscreen because I couldn't find a mineral-based sunscreen with caffeine in it. Caffeine tightens the skin, it shrinks the pores, and I just like how it lays on the skin. And I mixed it with a mineral sunscreen and then we made it SPF 40. So it's a real treat. I think that you guys will absolutely love it. It just comes out in a pump, fits in your handbag, and it can go through the airport. You can shop this at shopskinnyconfidential.com, and it's the caffeinated SPF. Also, if you're like me and you go through sunscreen quickly, you can subscribe, and the sunscreen will get delivered straight to your door, so you don't have to worry about it. That's shopskinnyconfidential.com.
You did Eleonora from Selling the City, and she was open about her experience. How important do you think it is for people to start opening up about all of this that's been going on behind the scenes that no one talks about?
Listen, thank you for bringing this up. I've been doing this for years, over a decade, and I've done over probably 10,000 just labioplasties. With the people I trained, by the way, for Vaginal Angelo, we trained over 250 doctors internationally. And unfortunately, most patients, 99% of patients, especially if they have a status, they do not want to talk about it. And it's sad because I think as a woman, you want to empower other women and you want to talk about it. So thank you for talking about it. Eleonora talked about it very openly. She actually filmed the whole office experience and she comes regularly. She comes to me regularly. We missed each other this time in Europe, but I see her almost every 6 to 8 weeks.
And she does exosomes.
She does exosomes. Before we did PRP, before we didn't have access.
And she hasn't had a baby.
To good exosomes. No, self-care. You know what? She said it on the camera. She said it's fine to talk about it. She probably has one of the most taken care of private parts because she's really, she tries to really stay ahead of the game.
Yeah. I think it's great.
And she talks about it, which is amazing.
Before you go, we're going to get to your products and your book, but I just want to ask you one more question. If someone's listening and they want to get any kind of procedure done on their penis or their vagina, what are red flags to look out for that are big no-nos for you?
The thing is that I don't like, you see a lot of doctors right now are getting into this field without being trained on it.
Right.
Unfortunately, Lauren, in residency, there is no training in cosmetic gynecology, not in OBGYN residency and not in plastic surgery. So doctors see that, this is a cash procedure. And now with insurance is becoming so stingy, they're like, well, you know what? I killed myself for 9 months taking care of a pregnant lady. And at the end, I get $1,000 or $1,500. Why don't I do one of these? So they start making specials. I do your vaginoplasty for $3,000. I do your labioplasty for $3,000. It only takes 30 minutes. Believe it or not, in the past year, I've done 3 times as many botched revisions of labioplasties and vaginoplasties than I did the primary ones that I do myself. And it's so sad because these are amazing doctors. They can do beautiful C-section or hysterectomy. And if they got trained on this, they would have been really good. But unfortunately, they think of it as an extra income. So I tell people, I'm like, ask your doctor how many they've done, how many they do on a regular basis. Try to go to somebody who is doing this on a regular basis. Like, you should not. I used to do amazing C-sections and amazing vaginal deliveries, but that was 10, 15 years ago. Do not come to me to deliver your baby, because I don't do 500 of them a year anymore.
Right. That makes sense.
So go to someone who does how to do it, So ask them, how many do you do? Can I see before and afters? Can I talk to a couple of your patients? We always have patients who are willing to talk about their experience, and make sure your doctor is accessible. I may be super busy with everything that I'm doing, but I tell people, you direct message me on Instagram to this day, although we have like admin and everything for every single thing. My Instagram, I respond myself. It may take 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, but I do respond myself. And once you're my patient, you have my cell phone, and I text you back and forth. I make sure, because it's about patient care. My father told me to be a real doctor, and back in the days, there were no cell phones. So everybody knew our house. They would come to the door, they would open the door, they would knock on the door, and he would take care of the patients. It's like more important than being an amazing surgeon, is to really care about your patient. So if you see your doctor doesn't care and they just push you, oh, talk to the coordinator, and they took the money, you don't hear back from them anymore. That's not right. You want somebody to be there with you, because this is the most intimate part. Now, both penises and vaginas, remember, they are very intricate, very sensitive. We spoke about clitoris and the 12,000 nerves around here. Once you cut the dorsal clitoral nerve, it's almost, there's no going back. There are things that we do to bring the sensation back, but you know what? It's never going to be as good as it was before. Now, I have a lot of experience in doing this because I took care of patients who had female genital mutilation. So we can do some stuff, but try to get it right the first time. So find the right doctor. I'm not telling you to come to me. Fortunately, thank God, in New York,
You're packed.
I'm booked for the next 16 months.
Right, you're booked.
I don't even have, Miami is almost the same
You're
thing.
busy.
Houston office, we have some openings, but go to somebody, make sure that they really know what they are doing, and see their before and after, and ask to talk to their patients. That is very important.
Where can everyone shop your products and buy your book? Your book is called A Woman's Right to Pleasure. And it's a lot of vaginas, but what I like about it is it's taking the taboo-ness out of it.
That was
Michael,
the reason.
don't pop a boner on air.
He should. This is his last night. Come on.
You'll have to use his book to beat your meat for the next 6 weeks.
It's the Last Supper, Lauren.
This Last Supper. Okay, where can everyone find your products and check out what you're doing, your Instagram, all the things?
Sure. So my Instagram is NYC Gyno, NYC Gyno. So that has linked to all my different Instagrams. And about the book and all the products, they can always go to getsaray.com or getsaray the Instagram, and the products, the book, everything is on there.
And you still have the butt plugs and
Everything.
So you can go on there and you can actually use toys to get the angle of the vagina
Exactly. Oh, you
restored.
remember?
Of course.
The tools, we call them tools. So look,
Yeah.
This is the other thing. So we did a research, and actually it's written up in sexology. So what is and I think Michael got it right last time I asked him, we wanted to find out what's the best position in intercourse. What's the most satisfying position in intercourse for a woman? And what we did ultrasound on the clitoris in different positions and see which one gives the most amount of erection in the clitoris. So in which one you get most amount of blood supply to clitoris, the clitoris gets most engorged.
Which remind me of which one it was?
Perfect. So remember, you want the angle to be down. So the best would be missionary, guy on top, missionary, and the best is missionary with a pillow underneath the buttocks.
So they make those wedge things, right?
You're fixing the angle.
Yep.
Now, I tell people, I'm like, if you can't afford to do a vaginoplasty or vaginal Angelo to fix the angle, just put a butt plug. Because remember, if you use, and we call it the one that we made is called the Reverie. It's really an angle rectifier. So you put it inside the anus, and the place that has its thickness is like literally right underneath the perineal body. That's the place that needs to come up to fix the angle. And then even if the guy is blind and his penis is like tiny, you know, he can't miss because it's going to go right.
If you have a tiny dick or you're blind, Dr. Amir has you covered at NYC Gyno on Instagram. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I can't wait for tomorrow.
Thank you for having me. Tomorrow we're going to do a lot of reverse aging. Michael, are you going to come?
Well, I should be there at some point, right?
Should I inject you?
We will talk about that. We will discuss
not
what
necessarily
the
the penis, but you can listen. Is your own placenta? You can get
an
IV.
IV.
Lauren does these things where like I'm aware you guys. She doesn't tell me the details.
I don't know. The details are like it's a lot of details.
I asked her today. I'm like, "What's the?" She today we're driving in the car. She's like, "Are you getting me?"
I'm liaison fair.
I was like, "What?" I'm like, "I don't even know what's happening." But yeah. No, I actually had one more question. Just back to the exosomes of it all. When you say inject. And you said IV. Can you concentrate and do an injection solely in the knee for the area?
Of course.
And then, in addition, can you do like a maintenance dose IV that goes everywhere? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you cannot overdose yourself on this.
Okay.
And look, even if there is the slightest question for people that I don't know the source of exosome, you know the source of exosome. It came from you and her. And the exosome that you're using, you know, it's the highest quality exosome because it's first to second passage of exosome. What does that mean? A lot of companies you see out there, they're like, oh, let's say, for example, we have a pre-COVID exosome. What does that mean? It means that before COVID, somebody donated a placenta, and then they've been expanding these cells all the time. And it's probably they are in their passage like 2,000 or 5,000, who knows? And they keep making exosomes from the same placenta that was pre-COVID.
So if Michael comes tomorrow and let's just say he's like, I don't want to do the penis, but if he wants to get an exosome shot in his back where it hurts and do an exosome IV, do you think that would be good for him?
Let's see, because, you know, the amount of exosomes we have, I think 700 billion and a couple of hundred. I think altogether we have around like 1 trillion exosome for you. So we can divide and give like one part of it to Michael, but I want to go really heavy on you.
No. Okay. Focus on her. I'll connect with you after and figure out because I want to talk to you about.
Because you have a bunch of exosomes. You have, listen, you have an army of exosomes waiting for you.
I made the half the placenta, right? So
exactly.
How much can he get in his penis tomorrow if he does his penis? How much could he do?
He's not going to be using the penis for the next like 6 weeks though.
So it's pointless.
No, it's not pointless. Listen, the penis is going to become happier.
Okay.
You know?
Maybe you can get your back done.
And by the way, you know what you have to do when you inject the penis? What's the most important thing?
What?
For it to work. So when we inject penises, for it to work, you really want to keep stimulating the penis. So
I got to get a fluffer there.
You have to either get like a pump, okay, and at the same time you keep masturbating, have sex to bring more blood supply to it.
Okay,
so it starts getting like
we gotta book that in my calendar.
I got to come masturbate in front of you for a while. It's
not in front of me. You can get some help from Lauren, but not.
Oh my God!
On.
I'm gonna be busy. Okay.
Well, listen, I'm not gonna have anything to do for 6 weeks, so it might be a good time.
Dr. Amir, thank you for all of your openness about this subject. We really appreciate it. Come back anytime.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, buddy.
You.